Hold your breath and brace for impact. You're rocketing through the skies in a sleek supersonic beast that burns past Mach 2, tearing across the Atlantic so fast you land in London before New York's sunrise fades. This is the Concorde, a supersonic legend that rockets past Mach 2, tearing across the Atlantic so fast you land in London before New York's sunrise fades. It didn't just fly. It shattered time itself with raw, untamed power, seducing the world's elite with plush luxury and record-breaking speed. But beneath its sky-storming glory lies a heart-pounding saga. What jaw-dropping secrets fueled its blazing triumphs? How did it charm royalty and rock stars with champagne-soaked splendor? And why did a fiery catastrophe send this fearless icon crashing to its doom, leaving only echoes of its brilliance? Strap in for a turbocharged ride through a tale of dazzling ambition, devastating tragedy, and a mystery that'll grip you until the final moment. The story begins in the 1950s, a time when the world was obsessed with going faster, higher, and bolder. The Cold War had ignited a fierce race for supremacy in the skies. The United States was sketching plans for a supersonic transport, or SST, while the Soviet Union tinkered with its own. Across the Atlantic, Britain and France, two nations with proud aviation histories, faced a choice: go it alone and risk financial ruin, or join forces to build something extraordinary. In 1962, they shook hands on a historic treaty, pooling brains and budgets to create a jet that could fly at twice the speed of sound. The Concorde was born, a daring bet on a future where time zones bowed to human ingenuity. Building the Concorde was no small feat. Engineers faced a gauntlet of challenges that pushed the limits of science. The plane had to withstand blistering heat, 127 degrees Celsius on its skin at Mach 2, while slicing through the air with surgical precision. Its sleek, delta-wing design, with gracefully curved wings, wasn't just for show. It minimized drag, letting the jet pierce the atmosphere like an arrow. The heart of the beast? 4 Rolls-Royce Snecma Olympus 593 turbojets, roaring with afterburners that gulped 25 tons of fuel per hour. The fuselage, crafted from special aluminum alloys, stretched up to 10 inches in flight due to the intense heat of supersonic speeds. And that iconic droop nose. It tilted down during landing, giving pilots a clear view of the runway. Every detail was a triumph of engineering, from the fly-by-wire controls, a first for any airliner, to the avionics that kept the plane stable at 60,000 feet, where the sky darkened and the Earth's curve came into view. After years of testing, the Concorde took its maiden flight in 1969, a moment that sent shivers through the aerospace world. By January 21, 1976, it was ready for passengers. British Airways launched a flight from London to Bahrain, while Air France soared from Paris to Rio de Janeiro. The jet's primary mission, though, was the transatlantic corridor, London to New York and Paris to New York. It shaved hours off the journey, turning an 8-hour slog into a 3.5-hour sprint. Only 20 Concordes were built, 6 for testing, 14 for service, each a handcrafted masterpiece. They weren't just planes. They were ambassadors of a new era, carrying the hopes of two nations and the awe of the world. Stepping aboard the Concorde was like entering a private club at 60,000 feet. The cabin held just 100 seats, a far cry from the packed jumbos of today. Space was tight, with less legroom than you'd expect, but the experience was pure luxury. Flight attendants served gourmet meals, think lobster thermidor and caviar, on fine china paired with vintage wines and champagne. The passenger list read like a tabloid headline: Queen Elizabeth II, Mick Jagger, Diana Ross, even a young Elon Musk once took the ride. The Concorde was the ultimate status symbol, a ticket costing up to $12,000 in 2003, equivalent to a small car today. But the real thrill was the speed. As the Mach meter climbed past 2.0, passengers felt the rush of breaking the sound barrier. Small, heat-resistant windows offered glimpses of the Earth's curvature, a view reserved for astronauts and Concorde travelers. Some swore they landed earlier than they left, outrunning time zones in a way that felt like cheating physics. The Concorde's reign was filled with jaw-dropping moments. In 1996, it set a record for the fastest transatlantic crossing, 2 hours, 52 minutes, and 59 seconds from New York to London. It carried the Olympic flame, ferried royalty, and even transported a priceless Stradivarius violin, which had its own seat for safety. Pilots loved the thrill of pushing past Mach 1, describing it as taming a wild stallion. Passengers marveled at the sensation of flying faster than a rifle bullet, sipping champagne while the world below seemed to stand still. The Concorde wasn't just travel, it was an adventure, a story you'd tell for years. But for all its glory, the Concorde faced relentless headwinds. Its sonic booms, shockwaves from shattering the sound barrier, rattled homes and spooked livestock, leading most countries to ban overland flights. This confined the jet to oceanic routes, slashing its commercial potential. Its thirst for fuel made it a gas guzzler, burning through resources at a rate that dwarfed larger jets like the Boeing 747. Airports near London and New York echoed with complaints about the Concorde's thunderous takeoffs, earning it enemies among residents. Environmentalists pointed fingers at its carbon footprint, a growing concern as the green movement gained steam. And then there was the cost. Maintaining a fleet of just 14 planes was a financial black hole, with each Concorde requiring bespoke care that drove up expenses. The darkest chapter came on July 25, 2000, when Air France Flight 4590 crashed moments after takeoff from Paris. A piece of debris on the runway shredded a tire, which punctured a fuel tank, sparking a fire that brought the jet down. All 113 people aboard perished, along with 4 on the ground. The tragedy stunned the world. The Concorde fleet was grounded for over a year as investigators pieced together the cause. Safety upgrades followed, Kevlar-lined fuel tanks, tougher tires, but the crash left a scar. Public confidence waned, and the jet's mystique took a hit. When flights resumed in November 2001, the world had changed. The 9/11 attacks had crushed demand for luxury travel, and the Concorde's high costs became harder to justify. By 2003, the end was inevitable. British Airways and Air France, facing dwindling passengers and soaring maintenance bills, made the heart-wrenching call to retire the fleet. Airbus, which maintained the planes, pulled support, sealing the decision. On October 24, 2003, the Concorde flew its final commercial flights, with tearful crowds bidding farewell. The last flight, a ferry from New York to Bristol, landed on November 26, 2003, to cheers and champagne. The 14 operational Concordes found new homes in museums, from New York's Intrepid Museum to Paris's Le Bourget and Bristol's Filton. Walking through their cabins today, you can almost hear the echoes of their supersonic past. The Concorde wasn't just a plane, it was a cultural lightning bolt. It starred in movies like Airport 79. The Concorde inspired songs and shaped the jet-set lifestyle of the late 20th century. Its sleek silhouette became a symbol of a future that felt within reach, a world where distance and time bent to human will. Pilots spoke of its magic, engineers revered its audacity, and passengers cherished memories of dining above the clouds at twice the speed of sound. Even now, Concorde memorabilia, tickets, models, menus, sells for thousands at auctions, a testament to its enduring allure. The Concorde's influence ripples into today's aviation. Its fly-by-wire systems laid the groundwork for modern airliners, from the Airbus A380 to the Boeing 787. Its ambition inspired a new wave of dreamers. Companies like Boom Supersonic are chasing a greener, quieter supersonic future with their Overture jet, aiming to carry 64 passengers at Mach 1.7 by the early 2030s. NASA's X-59 QSST is tackling the sonic boom problem, hoping to make overland supersonic flight legal again. These projects face steep hurdles, cost, regulations, public skepticism, but they carry the Concorde's spirit, proving that the dream of faster-than-sound travel never died. The Concorde flew for just 27 years, but its legacy is timeless. It was a machine that dared to outrun the sun, a jet that turned hours into minutes and made the impossible feel routine. It carried rock stars, royalty, and visionaries, but it also carried a bolder idea that humanity could push beyond the limits of physics and imagination. Its retirement left a void, a reminder of a time when travel was a thrill, not just a necessity. Could supersonic flight return with the same swagger? Only time will tell. For now, the Concorde remains a legend, a silver streak across the sky that still sparks wonder. So, next time you're stuck on a long-haul flight, imagine what it must have been like to soar at Mach 2, chasing the horizon and catching time itself.